In today's session of Divorce Court, Lynette Newell says she called it quits when her husband Robert came home and got undressed.
He took his clothes off, and in his underwear, the condom fell out.
Ooh, that is pretty far-fetched. You never used condoms in your relationship with him.
In our relationship at all.
You didn't know you came home wearing a condom? You're really that stupid.
I'm not that stupid. Your
Yes,
Honor,
you
my
are.
job...
Yes, you are.
If there was a condom being used, it had to be her.
How is it
I'm
gonna
going
be
out
me
there
using a
busting
condom?
my butt.
Hold,
Yeah.
Mrs. Newell. Let me hear what he has to say now.
Now Lynette Newell and Robert Newell each get to tell their side of the story in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Robert Newell versus Lynette Newell, and I'm advised that after 4.5 years of marriage, Mrs. Newell, you're ready to end it. Why?
Well, ma'am, after 2 months into our marriage, I was on maternity leave. I was in a bad car accident, and I was cleaning the house. So I was cleaning the house, and I found an open used condom. And
Excuse
yes,
me?
ma'am.
Don't
we
you use
never,
condoms?
Yes, it
Your
was
Honor,
used.
Your Honor.
We never used
Your Honor,
condoms
Oh, be
in
quiet
our
for a minute.
marriage.
Okay.
You never used condoms in your relationship with him?
In our relationship at all.
So maybe it was one of your old boyfriends?
No. No.
Your Honor,
No.
we had sex, but we never used a condom.
That's what she said.
If there was a condom being used, it had to be her. I'm the one
Why?
out working.
How is it
I'm the
gonna
one
be
out
me
there
using a
busting
condom?
my butt.
Hold,
Yeah.
Mrs. Newell. Let me hear what he has to say now.
I'm the one out there busting my butt, working while she's at home. Also, I was the manager of that building. I'm always out working, doing something. She's the one
Being
at home. I
gone
say,
all
relax,
day and
take care
night.
of yourself.
Being
If
gone
there's a
all night, 3
condom,
and 4 times.
She never presented a condom to
Yes.
me.
What she presented to you?
Yes.
She never presented
Yes,
anything
I
to
did.
me.
I
This
brought
is the
the
first time
condom
I ever
to
heard
you.
something
I
like
brought
that.
the condom up
That's not,
to you.
I'm out here.
Hold
like,
on. So you mean to tell me that she made this all up just to
Yes,
tell
sir.
for my benefit?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
No.
she did.
No.
Because, look, I'm at work. She's at home. I don't know what's
No.
going on. All I know is
No.
take care. If there's anything wrong with the apartment building, call me.
No.
I'll come out. I'll leave work, and I'll come out and
You
take care of
never
the problem.
took care of the
Okay, now,
apartment
did you-
building. I
what-
was taking care of the
What
apartment
other
building.
reasons did
She-
you believe that it was his used condom
Because he had
and
been
not
gone.
yours?
He had been gone all night. He came in from home, came in from his deja vu or wherever he was at. I
That's
had
not
his
true.
kids.
Hold on.
I had his kids, his 3 kids.
His kids?
His 3 kids.
You didn't have
Yes.
anything to do
I
with
didn't
making
have-
those kids?
No, those 3 kids were not mine. I was watching his 3 kids. He had every weekend he would get his kids over. I was babysitting his
Your
kids.
Honor.
Hold
he
on.
came in. He came in, and I was mad. I was mad.
He came in what?
He came in, and I explained to him, "I'm leaving you. It's over."
Okay,
I
but
left.
other than the fact that you found a used condom in your bed, which, you know, I'm not,
Your Honor.
hold on, I'm
Okay.
talking. He's suggesting that perhaps it was used since he was out working all the time. Did you have any other evidence that aroused your suspicion?
No, ma'am.
You said he was gone?
He would be gone 3 days at a time. He would leave, and only way I would be able to get in touch with him is I would have to call his job.
Well, if he's
Yeah.
gone 3 days at a
Yeah.
time, and that's what you think is your evidence of the used condom belonging to him, and you don't use condoms,
No.
you and your husband together, and he's out, how did the condom get at the house? You said he's gone.
He took his clothes off. He came home to change his clothes. In his underwear, the condom fell out. When he got home, I told him about it.
Ooh, that
He
is pretty
got-
far-fetched.
Yeah, he got upset with me.
This man, you're telling me, came home from wherever he was,
Yes.
wearing the condom and the condom stuck in his underwear?
Yes, it did. Yes, it
Oh,
did.
come
it
on.
stuck to his clothes.
Not true.
And
Yes,
you
it
didn't
is,
know
and
you
you know
came
it
home
is.
wearing a condom.
You know it's
Your
true.
Honor, Your
I
Honor,
brought the
my
con-
job,
I brought
Your
it.
Honor, Your Honor, my
I
job,
told
I have to
him-
be at home.
Hold on. I want.
Okay.
You didn't know you came home wearing a condom. You're really that stupid.
I'm not that stupid. Your
Yes,
Honor,
you
my
are.
job,
Yes,
I
you
work.
are. Yes, you
Your
are.
Honor, look, I
You are
work a
stupid.
full-time job, 40 hours a week.
Yes.
Besides, I take care of the building. I have to be at that building.
You
to
never
clean that
took
building
care of the
every
building.
day,
I took care of the
every day.
building.
We're not talking about taking care of the building. I'm trying to understand.
Well,
what-
she's-
Don't-
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand. If you were out for 3 days, is that part right?
No,
You were never gone for 3 days?
that's not the truth, Your Honor.
What part of that is not true?
All of it's not true. I never cheated on Lynette. through our whole relationship.
Now, if you had told me that you left him at home, you returned, or you left him at home a couple of days by himself, you returned home and found this used condom on the bed, it would sound more believable. But you're complaining that he's out with Sally. So if he's out with Sally, that's what a condom is, wouldn't it be?
Yes,
that's the
ma'am.
logical explanation to me.
Your
So
Honor?
maybe he's not wrong about
Yes, he is
the
wrong.
logic that it may have been
Yes,
yours.
yes, he is. And he knows it's true because he admitted it to me after the fact that he brought it up. And when
He admitted that he had the affair in your bedroom?
Yes, he did. In our bedroom.
Did you?
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you did.
Your Honor, the beginning of our relationship, we dated for a year, and Lynette became pregnant. Mm-hmm. Okay, she came pregnant. I was so excited. I told my coworkers, I told my family. I was so excited. When the child was born, I gave the child my last name, my family name that goes back way back. And later on through our marriage, I discovered that son that was born is not my son.
What?
It's not my son. And Your Honor,
That's when you were dating for a year?
No, this is after.
No, but you said you had been dating for a year.
For a year.
You got married.
Yep.
She was pregnant at the marriage.
No, she was pregnant before the marriage.
That's what I just said.
Okay,
at the
I apologize.
marriage.
Okay.
That's what that means. Same phrase.
Okay, and the child was born prior to the marriage.
And you believe that it was yours?
I believe it's mine. I believe we're dating. We're together.
How did you discover that it wasn't yours?
Well, her family, my family. You look at the son. Son looks nothing like me.
Oh, you just looked at him?
No, a DNA test was done.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I took care of my homework, and Monday we could find out the results. But you know, right now,
So you're
Your Honor,
still not sure?
I'm positive sure. I'm 100 sure.
What about you,
No,
Mrs. Newell?
Because
Is it his
he
child?
knew before me and him got together, I was involved in a relationship.
Okay.
I left the relationship because it was abusive, and me and him got together.
And were you
he
pregnant
knew
at the
all-
time?
Yes, I was, and I had no idea I was pregnant.
Oh, you
until-
didn't know it.
No,
But she
I did
just-
not know I was pregnant.
And when you found out you were?
And when I found out I was pregnant, I kept my son.
And what? I'm not suggesting
Yeah,
you should have
no.
done anything differently, but what did you say to your husband?
I told him that the baby, the oldest, might not be his from the beginning.
No, that's not true.
Yes,
Your Honor-
I did.
But what that tells me is that you have a history somewhat of being in one relationship, things not going well,
Yes.
go into another relationship.
ma'am.
Now, 2 months after you're into this marriage, was it going well or was it going a little rocky?
It was rough.
It was
he
rough.
Yes, ma'am. He was very
Okay, Your
abusive.
Honor,
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm getting to something.
Okay.
It was what? It was a
It
little
was
abusive?
very abusive, ma'am.
Immediately.
Immediate.
What did he do to you?
Oh, gosh, everything.
Well,
he beat
what's
me.
everything?
He beat me in front of his whole entire family.
Not the family with the great name?
Yes, yes.
When divorce court returns, Robert accuses Lynette of being more than just a bad wife.
So your wife is just a habitual liar?
She's never convicted. Look right here. Look, church. Look, I'm paying child support for kids that's not even mine.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce court is back in the case of Lynette Newell, who says she's divorcing her husband Robert after he came home with a used condom in his pants.
Well, we'll get an altercation when she would start breaking things around the house.
I'm there, yeah.
We had a bunch of antiques. She would just throw them and break everything.
I sure did.
In 2 months?
And look, at one
No, this
occasion,
isn't
on
2
one
months,
occasion,
ma'am.
she destroyed one of my vehicles.
Sure did. Because he had.
Wait a minute, sure did. You
Hey.
sound like you're awfully proud of it.
No, I'm
And
not.
You know what?
No, I'm
not only that.
No,
The
I'm
only
not.
thing I would do with Lynette is just try to grab her and stop her from destroying
And
Why
pull
would
me
you
out,
destroy
put my head
property?
open, and
Why
go to
would
the
you
hospital.
destroy property and destroy antiques?
Ma'am, he had his girlfriend in our car. I caught him.
How
He
did you
told-
know as a girlfriend?
I didn't know it was his girlfriend at the time.
So you caught him with
I
a
caught
woman
him with
in the
the
car.
woman in his car.
And where was he
Nobody-
on his way?
He was over to his dad's house because his mom's house had just caught a fire.
So he was sitting in the car
he was
with this
sitting in
woman?
the car with the lady as I walked up.
And what did you observe?
And I saw the girl holding her arm around the car seat of him.
And his mother's house had just caught a fire?
His mother's house
Was she
had
a
just-
friend
Your Honor?
consoling him,
No,
perhaps?
it wasn't his girl.
Your
no,
Honor,
it's
you know-
his girlfriend.
Okay.
And
that
how
he,
do you know?
How do I know? He has a baby by her. The same lady, she put sand in my gas tank. She put, and it made it really hard for me.
Your Honor,
I had to get
Your Honor,
a ride from work
Just be quiet a minute.
I had to get a ride to work every day. I worked probably 20 minutes away from my house. I had to pay a lady to take me back and forth to work because she worked at the same job.
So this started happening early in the marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me about that situation.
No, that situation at my dad's house. My mom's house had just caught a fire. I was over attending to my mom, and relatives come over, was concerned about what happened.
So this was a relative that was hugging you?
We're all, a lot of, yeah, a lot, I hugged, not even my auntie, my uncle.
Not a lot. The woman in the car.
There was no one in the car. I was not in the car. I was tending to the situation with my mother.
So that's not true either.
That's not true. Your Honor, look, why am I going to be in the car when my mom's house just burnt down?
Maybe you couldn't go inside.
No, I was tending to my mom. My mom was crying. I was trying to calm her down.
So she didn't see you in the car
No,
with a
there's
woman
no such
and a
thing as
woman hugging you?
no, not at all.
So your wife is just a habitual liar?
She's a habitual. Look right here. Look, look. I'm paying child support for kids that's not even mine. I provided for her and her kids. They came and I came and lived with me. I opened my door and tried to provide for her and her kids. I did everything in our relationship to make it work.
No, you didn't. You did everything but destroyed it. Affairs, abuse, cheating.
I highlighted, that's the name I'm paying for. That's the name.
Oh, this child, Theodis, is not yours.
It's not my son. I love him as mine, but in reality, the kid's not my son.
Well, sometimes once you're married to someone, you didn't observe that she was pregnant when you were dating her?
No. Like she said, we lived together a year. Come on.
Well, sometimes when you're married to somebody, and then you later find out that it's not your child, it's quite common for you to say, well, that's fine, I'll accept it as my child.
I did. I was so embarrassed, I didn't even tell my mom. I didn't tell my dad, but I knew. I was so embarrassed. And my co-workers, I mean, they bought me wonderful gifts. I can't even go back and tell them. I just had to hold it in.
You need to go back and tell them. Wasn't none of their business.
I know, that's true.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, I just kept it into myself. It hurt.
And
it hurt me so bad.
you're saying that he was abusive to you, and that's what ended it.
Yes, ma'am. He was very abusive to me.
But now, if you found this used condom in 2.5 months after the marriage, or 2 months after the marriage, and if you found him hugged up with another woman in the car, how long was that after the marriage?
That was about 6 months later, not even 6 months.
So how did you end up staying in it 3.5 more years?
Ma'am, I left him completely.
Okay.
When that happened. I have lived on my own.
For how long?
Since 97.
For the last 2 years?
Last 2.5 years, I've lived on my own. I make $10.73 an hour. I pay $945 a month in rent. $100 to $160 is what I'm receiving for child support. That's not enough. I have 3 kids.
3 other
total.
children, right?
I have 3 kids total.
So you're getting support for them?
Yes, ma'am. I get support.
But you're saying with the money you're getting for the 3 other children, plus the support from him,
yes, ma'am.
plus the money you earn, not enough.
No, it's
and
not.
you want him to give you some more.
Yes,
Your Honor,
ma'am.
what she's making, she's making double than what I'm making. My job doesn't pay that well because it also pays for you to go to school also.
So are you going to school?
Yes, I'm going to school. I have to finish a couple of tests.
So eventually you'll make more.
Eventually I'll be making more. But I took the low pay so I can go to school and hopefully provide more for myself and my other kids. I'm paying child support for other kids also.
So you have other children?
Yes, I do.
How many other ones do you have?
I have 4. I have 5 kids altogether.
And now you have a child with him as well for whom you're paying support.
Okay. Another thing, I'm going to say in that relationship, she was the one who messing around. She was the one messing around with a member of her church.
Listen, I'm going
to tell you, I did my homework. Here I am, busting my butt, working 2 jobs, 16 and a half hours a day.
Don't go back to that. You've told me that.
Okay. What I would do, we're in bed, sleep, I'll go to my overnight job, and I will go around the corner, and I'll park the car, come back. She's out of bed on the phone.
You played investigator.
Yes, I investigated. She's on the phone. She's on the phone. I said, well, something's not right.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
Based upon what you've told me, that you haven't been in a marriage since about the 3rd month. Marriage is love, honor, trust.
And an update on the case of Tiffany Jones versus Darius Jones.
I may be a hoe, I may be a slut, but I'm gonna go out and get me some butt now.
Excuse me?
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back and the verdict is in the case of Robert Newell, who says you can't believe a thing his wife Lynette says because she's a habitual liar.
So I did a little bit more investigating, and the member from her church, he used to come pick her up, take her to church, and sometimes he would take her to her house. And later on, I found out, his house, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And later I found out she had a set of keys to his apartment.
Well, wasn't he coming by to pray with her at 11:30?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
ma'am.
Not when your wife get out of bed in the middle of the night and go spend the night at that church member's home.
You observed her to leave the house?
Yeah, I said, where you going?
We were separated.
He said he's living at the house and he needs to go to work.
How did I know this was going on?
We were separated. I started seeing him, and we were friends. Okay.
Ooh, here we go with these friends again.
I can understand someone spending time together. I can understand her. I don't mind
We
her
weren't
having male
together.
friends.
Well, that's awfully kind of you.
But that's a part of
together.
relationship. It's trust.
We weren't
Okay.
together.
That's right.
But when you have a keys to someone's apartment and going over his house to spend a night, and you're in a marriage, that doesn't seem right.
Well, it seems to me, based upon what you've told me, that you haven't been in a marriage since about the 3rd month of this marriage.
No,
Yes.
we lived, like you said, we lived together a year.
You haven't been
We
in
haven't
a
been in a-
marriage. You know, the
Yes.
marriage.
Yes.
Marriage is love, honor, trust,
Right.
stand together,
We
you know,
lived
taking
together.
care of each other,
We lived
being
together.
emotionally supportive of each other.
We
you
lived
haven't been in a marriage
we
for a
lived
while.
together for 3 years. No, we
No,
never broke
we
up. We had
never
bad.
lived
We got a bad
together 3
turn,
years.
but we stuck it out. We
That
lived
was
together.
before you married.
No, we only lived together for 1 year, and we were married for 2 because we were
Well, she
out.
said you didn't live together.
We did live
We did
together.
live
Okay, but the two of you don't even know whether you were living
Yes,
together.
we did.
I do,
We
I
did not
do.
live together.
Like,
We
she
did not
was
live
living with
together.
me. She came to live with me.
Okay, but she said she was gone after 8 months, really.
No, no.
3 months,
No.
then she came back, then
Yeah.
2 months. Obviously, the
That-
two of you have been rather busy in this relationship.
Your
and
Honor.
I don't know where that used condom came from. I still don't know.
Your
but
Honor.
now, stop. I'm finished.
I'm sorry.
All right, finish. Fini, heard enough. Through.
Okay.
Ready to rule. You want support
Yes, ma'am.
from a man that you haven't lived with for over 2.5 years. How have you been supporting yourself?
I've been trying, borrowing money from family members, relatives, you know, friends. Every month I
That
have to
friend
borrow.
that you left with,
No,
right?
ma'am. No.
Well, I tell you what. Unfortunately, Mrs. Newell, you're probably going to have to keep borrowing money from friends if they keep loaning it to you. I don't know how you're going to pay it back. I tend to think you're probably not borrowing, probably someone's helping you. But here's the theory of the law. You don't get spousal support and have a man or your spouse ordered to pay you when you've been living separate and apart for 2.5 years and you only lived together 8 months. You really didn't establish a lifestyle for which he is responsible for paying. So, therefore, he doesn't have to pay support. No, I don't want to bring up any other issues. We're there. He's not responsible for support at this point because he really hasn't supported you by your own words. So he hasn't supported you as a husband, nor have you supported him as a wife. That's the theory on which we continue to order spousal support, to keep you in the same state of affairs as much as possible as you were during the marriage. Giving you no support leaves you in the same state of affairs. That's the order of the court. No spousal support. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Tiffany Jones versus Darius Jones.
I ain't gotta respect her.
Yes, you do. And you will respect her as long as you stand before me.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Tiffany Jones said the only thing Darius did throughout their marriage was have affairs.
There is no truth to any of this, Mr. Jones.
I ain't gotta respect her.
Yes, you do. And you will respect her as long as you stand before me.
I may be a hoe, I may be a slut, but I'm gonna go out and get me some butt now.
Excuse me? Oh, you're not even a good storyteller, please.
Tiffany wanted Darius to pay child support and brought him to court, but Darius claimed he may not be the father of Tiffany's youngest child until a paternity test proved he was, and the judge ordered him to pay. Since then, Tiffany has started dating a new man who reads to the children and even puts them to bed and acts like the father Darius never was. Meanwhile, Darius is getting ready to give fatherhood another try when his new girlfriend has a baby next month.
All along, I tried to provide a safe and I did the best ability I can for Lynette and her kids to provide a safe home for them. And she comes here with lies I know nothing about.
I'm just done with it.
The judge made a right decision, and I can move on finally. All right.
I just wish him the best of luck, with his life, that's all.
I'm not gonna let this hold me back. I'm gonna move on with my life.